What is going on, guys? It is Bravo Zulu Barbecue back with another video. So the other day we went ahead and made a video on how to dry brine and spatchcock your chicken. Well, this one's going to show you how to season and smoke it using your offset smoker. So this is actually my first time using an offset smoker, so I'm excited to see how the results will be. So hopefully it comes out great, which I know it will. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is just pat it dry of any extra moisture, just in case any moisture came from the dry brining process. This has been dry brining for 24 hours. The dry skin is going to help give a crispier skin. It's not going to be like fried chicken, but it's going to be crispier if you dry the skin. So I'm going to flip it over because I'm going to do the back side first. Okay, you can't even see any of the salt from the dry brine. It's already dissipated throughout the chicken. I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna dry off the skin side. All right, now that it's dry, we are going to apply oil to the backside first, because like I mentioned in my last video, you want the skin side to be the presentation side, so you always do that one last. So here I just have some extra virgin olive oil, and I'm going to put a little bit on the backside of this chicken. Okay, and just work it in. You don't need a whole lot. And then I'm going to go ahead and season it. So what I'm actually using today is Pitmaster Harry Sue Slap Your Daddy Barbecue Jailbird Chicken. Okay, he won first place many competitions using this rub. I'm a big fan of Harry Sue, so if you have the chance, give this a shot. It's really good on chicken. Get the wings. Back side of these drums. You guys, this chicken is going to be so good, I'm telling you. And so juicy from that dry brining process. Okay, we don't want to go too crazy. The dry brining does incorporate a little bit of salt in the meat. So you want to be, although you want to cover it well, you don't want to go too crazy or else it'll just be too salty. Alright, I'm going to flip this bad boy over. And do the same to the skin side. Olive oil. Spread it around. Season. Okay, here's another tip, guys. Always pat your rubbing. Do not rub the rub. I know it's called a rub, but you do not rub rubs, because what happens is you actually end up unevenly smearing the rub off the meat if you rub the rub. So pat it in, just like so. And you'll be good to go. So I'm gonna let this hang out for a little bit while my smoker gets hot. I got charcoal going right now. We're gonna be smoking at around 325 to around 400, somewhere in that range. You wanna keep it a little higher if you want the skin to get somewhat crispy. I'm going to be using hickory chunks, and since we are doing poultry, chicken can really take on too much smoke if you're not careful. So I'm just gonna be complementing the charcoal with a few blocks of hickory chunks periodically to get a light smoke taste. And this is gonna be one delicious bird. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I've went ahead and put the chicken on the offset smoker. So show you what that looks like. So right now I got my probes hooked up to give me some ambient temp. And I got a probe in the thickest part of the breast. And I'm going to want to take this chicken off when that breast reaches 165. Everything else should follow as long as the breast reaches 165. I got some hickory right there, and that's what I'm going to use to give it that smoke. Got my ink bird. I don't know if you can see it, but it's giving me my readings. It just dropped in temp, but it's going to come right back up. I really don't want this to get over about 400, so if it gets in that area, I'm going to just throttle it back a little bit, and I'll probably rotate the chicken around too, so that way it cooks evenly. Alright, we'll check back in a little bit. Okay guys, it's been about an hour. Now we're going to check on the chicken to see how it's doing. Okay, she's coming along nicely. Obviously not quite done yet, so we're gonna close her up. I'll let her keep going. We were cruising at around 265, 275. Just dropped because I just opened up the lid. It's gonna come right back up. And the chicken is on probe number 2, so right now it's sitting at 117, and like mentioned before, we want to be around 165 in the breast for a perfectly done chicken. Stay tuned. Okay guys, we have just reached 165 in the breast, so I am going to show you what it looks like now. Pretty much used up all the charcoal that I put in there, so it dropped down. We are sitting at 165. There she is. My first cook on the offset smoker, and this chicken looks great. I didn't end up actually rotating the chicken. I should have maybe, but it actually came out pretty evenly smoked. What I'm going to do now is just take a second temp in the other breast to make sure that we are in fact at 165. Oh yeah, we are 168 in this one. And I don't know if you guys can hear that. Okay, but this skin is crispy. It isn't going to be crispy like directly over charcoal or in a fryer, of course, but it is definitely crispy because we did the dry brine method. So now I'm going to take it out. I'm going to put it on the cutting board. I'm going to loosely tent it in foil, and I'm going to let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes for all the juices to settle before I start to carve it. Stay tuned. Okay guys, our chicken is done resting. It's been resting for about 15 minutes or so. I'm going to make a cut in the breast so that way I can show you guys just how juicy this chicken really is. So I'll just go ahead and okay, there's juices spilling out of the breast right now. Just try to cut a piece here. I'm completely butchering this. That's okay. Wow. Okay, I'm going to take a test now. The skin is crispy. From the dry brining process, the meat is really moist. I'm going to bring you guys in so you guys can see the juice that's on my cutting board. Easily the best chicken I've ever made. Look at the juices spilling out. The crispy skin. That juicy white meat. Okay, usually the breast is dry. Okay, no more with dry brine chicken. You guys gotta try this. Not bad for my first time on an offset. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. If you guys like what I'm doing, please subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.